guys, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot readings from the heart. This is Scorpio's monthly December tarot reading. Now, what I've done, Scorpio, I prepared this reading about 2 weeks ago, okay, because I kind of like to go a bit more in depth with the readings, and I find that it's easier to do that for myself, write down my notes on each card and what I feel about it, and then present it to you. And now that I've finished my contract where I was, I've got a bit more time to invest in doing, I feel, more quality readings. Now, the notes I couldn't find, as usual, so I prepared a second reading. Found the first notes, so you've got 2 readings coming up, okay? And I promise I am definitely uploading part 2, because I think you're going to need it after this reading. I think it's really important that this reading, it's not a bad reading, but it is very much about having to make a difficult decision for yourself, and I feel the aftermath of that in December. And obviously it's Christmas, so I don't really want to be giving kind of bad news or anything like that at all. I want to give kind of a message of hope. I'm also going to be asking the angels for some advice on this reading, and I'm also going to pull an extra tarot card for clarification on how you move forward or what the possible events could be afterwards. Okay, so this might be a little bit of a lengthy reading, but I want you to absorb it. I want you to know it. I want you to feel it. And if it resonates with you, as always, give me a shout, send me an email, send me, a comment through the YouTube page. Also, that I run a website. It's very, very successful. And what I want you to do is to feel that you can come to me for a private reading. You can read all my testimonials. They're very, very good. And yeah, so let's get on with your reading for the month of December. Now, also to let you know, some of this will resonate with some of you, and with some of you it won't. Also, to say that when we do readings, and it's really important, Scorpio, that you know this, okay? It's really important with the tarot. The energies can be 2 weeks before the month, and they can run 2 weeks after the month, okay? So it can be the middle of November running right up to the middle of January, okay? So you've kind of got an 8-week span on that, okay? That's what I found with these readings. The general energy for you, Scorpio, in the month of December is the Four of Pentacles. This is your advice card. Now, the Four of Pentacles, let me show you this card again. If you can see this guy, he's sitting all on his own, and he's holding on to 4 pentacles. He's sitting on a pentacle, he's holding a pentacle, and his feet have got 2 pentacles clasped to the ground. So this tells me, and if I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes, that this guy is afraid of change, and he's afraid of letting go. And he uses the pentacles as a shield, okay? And I feel that when we use things as a shield, for example, money, clothing, makeup, hair, whatever it is, we're not really embracing our spiritual side. We're not embracing the changes that are coming into our lives. We're still holding on to old patterns. So I feel that the Four of Pentacles is really a card of patterns. It's a card of holding on to stuff that no longer serves us. And it also acts as a shield, I feel, to kind of put up a barrier between you and something else. And I feel that this is definitely a card of limitation. So limiting your greatest potential, because you feel that you might have everything you need right here and now, and you're not really looking to, looking further afield for stuff, or you don't want to, or it's the fear that stops you from moving on. What I would say as an advice card for the Four of Pentacles for the month, Scorpio, is to let go, and is to relinquish any kind of old, outdated thoughts you might have about stuff, any patterns, any self-sabotaging patterns that might hinder you from something great coming into your life. That's what I'm feeling here, because I can see through the main cards that potentially some of you guys are being offered something, but you kind of turn your back on it and you regret it afterwards. There is regret. Now, maybe in the long run, the regret is that it wouldn't have been good for you in the long run. I'm using the Witch's Tarot for this, and the explanation of the cards, because I always try and, some tarot readers will just look at the cards and they'll go by their own explanations, and I certainly do that, looking at the patterns of the cards and where they're facing. But I also feel that we have to kind of include the particular tarot deck's explanations as well. Okay. Um, so yeah, I feel that it's two-way really that I feel with this card for advice, and it's all to do with your own intuition in a way. If you have decided not to go for something in December or from the beginning, or from the middle of November or the middle of January, and your intuition was telling you it wasn't the right time, then you are right. You need to hold up that barrier. You need to protect yourself. However, if you didn't do something because of fear, then it's telling you to let go. Okay? So there is a difference between intuition and fear, Scorpio. Your intuition tells you, okay, I'm not quite sure about this. I'm listening to the inner ear of God. We're going to get some further advice from those angel cards to see whether it was the right thing or the wrong thing for you to do. All right? We're also going to pick a clarification card to show what the potential events afterwards could be, okay, off a decision made from you guys in December, or going on from now, or the middle of Jan 2016. So, two things about this advice card. On the one hand, if your intuition is telling you not to go for something, and it's nothing to do with fear, it's just that you, inside of yourself, you're not quite sure. Your intuition is always God talking in your ear. And if it's God talking in your ear, then it was the right thing to do. You need to hold up your barriers and you need to protect yourself. However, if you didn't go for something because you feared it and you were fearing the change, then it's telling you, let down your guard. Let go of old self-sabotaging thoughts and just take the mask off. Okay? That's what it's telling. That's your advice for the month. The first card we see as your general energy for the month is the King of Pentacles. Now, the King of Pentacles is a very, very successful guy. He is a ruler. He is a family man. He's a very reliable character within the tarot. However, with the King of Pentacles, because it's Pentacles, it's materialism. So, in essence, he looks at the potential of something. What is the potential of what I have now? What can this thing do for me? What is this thing? How can this thing advance me? Because the King of Pentacles looks at his environment and sees what he has. He's had to work hard for what he's got. But he looks at his environment and he looks at what he has. And a lot of things, I feel, for the King of Pentacles are very much based on a commodity. They're based on a possession. So he has a lot of possessions because he's king and it's money. So he has the money, he has the material wealth, he has the material possessions, and he's always looking at the pentacle as if to say, what can I do with this? What can I do with this particular potential? You know, if we went from the Page of Pentacles, that would be the shortage card. That would be looking at something small and how you can grow it bigger. But the King of Pentacles has gone from a child into a man, okay? So now he has a larger pentacle. He's grown his small pentacle into something large, and he's wondering how can he expand on what he's already got. So he's quite a secure character within the tarot, okay? He's quite secure within himself. He's quite confident. He is a very steady, strong, and mature, generous guy. He's very, very supportive as an individual. He's also a very protective kind of guy. So he always protects what he has because he knows how hard it was starting as the Page, how hard it's been for him to grow into a king. Okay, so he's always protecting his reputation. He's always protecting how people view him, because materialism, if you look at something, for example, like the Devil card, it's based on materialism, so it's based on what we're showing to the world and how people are viewing us. The King of Pentacles has the same, I feel, ideology as well. He looks at how people view him because he is based on the materialistic world, okay? So he will always look at whether it's a woman that he wants, whether it's an item of clothing, whether it's a car, whether it's a house. He will always look at the outer of something, and he will look at the potential of the outer of something and think, is this a good thing to go for? However, the King of Pentacles softens because the next card is the Knight of Cups. Now, this could either be two guys, one being a king, one being a knight. So one being slightly older, one being slightly younger. And they're coming from two perspectives. If we were to look at this in terms of the perspective of both people, the King of Pentacles looks at how something can advance him, but the Knight of Cups is more dreamy and looks at stuff that comes from the heart. However, I have my misgivings about both characters in a way in this reading, Scorpio, because whilst the King of Pentacles looks at the advancement and what can advance him in his life, even though he's reliable, he's secure, he's always got his eye on the money and he's always got his eye on how is something going to make me look. Whereas the Knight of Cups will come from the heart. They're, on the one hand, they're both reliable, but on the other hand, they also have motives. Okay, so they're very motive driven. Okay, the Knight of Cups, in terms of love, he's always falling in love. He loves the idea of being in love. He can be also a very flaky character. Okay, so he can always be jumping from one emotion to the next. He's also a traveller. Okay, so he travels around a lot looking for love. He travels around a lot trying to find the person that's going to kind of make him feel butterflies and make him feel good and all of that type of thing. The King of Pentacles is much more of a stable character in that he is a king, number one, and he's a family man. The Knight of Cups is more your kind of, how can I explain the Knight of Cups? He's more your kind of wide boy type of character. So if it were two characters we were looking at, it could potentially, for you, some of you guys, and whether you're a man or a woman, in a general reading, these can represent either man or woman. We're looking at, I feel it's something to do with something being offered here in the month of December, okay? If it's two characters, one is an earth sign, so that's Taurus, it's Virgo, and it's Capricorn. The other one would be a water sign, okay? Which would be Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancerian, Giza, or female, okay? So there could be two people offering you love, offering you something, okay? But they've both got different motivations for it in the month of December. However, if it's the one person we're looking at, I feel that the King of Pentacles, for the general energy, first he looks at how something could advance him, and then he looks at his heart, because he's making the offer. He's looking at the potential, and then he goes ahead and makes the offer with the Knight of Cups. Okay. Now, this is why with the general advice card, it's saying to you, pay attention either to your intuition. If your intuition is telling you this isn't a good thing to go for, then you need to put your barriers up, okay? And you need to kind of protect yourself. If it's fear that stops you going for whatever this offer is in December, Scorpio, or going on from now or into January, then it's telling me that you need to let that down, your barriers down, your limitations, anything that's holding you back, self-sabotaging, limiting beliefs, that type of thing, you need to let it down. So you've got two choices there, and you really need to look inside of yourself to decide exactly what it is that's stopping you from accepting an offer, because you have been stopped from accepting an offer, it looks like in this reading. It does. It does. Now, the King of Pentacles can also represent maybe somebody within the financial world, a mature male within the financial world. So it could be that maybe somebody, a boss or something like that, is offering you something. It doesn't necessarily have to be love, but it can be something to do with money that is being offered to you. It could be a job, for example. It could be a gift, for example. It could be anything. But whether it's love, whether it's money, whether it's a job, you're either sitting on the fence about it, or you're just too afraid to go for it. Now, the first, we're going to have a look at the actual events coming in for you. And pardon me if I keep changing over my notes. We have the Strength card. Coupled with the High Priestess. Two strong female energies. Very strong feminine energies. Okay. One is loud and, well, it's not so much loud. They're both actually silent. And to be honest with you, both of these cards represent strength in silence to me, because the Strength card represents gentle strength. It's calmness. If you look at this woman here, she sits next to a sleeping lion. She's been able to kind of calm her fears, calm her inner demons. This is a card really of personal power and standing in your personal truth. It's also a card of self-control, okay? It's also a card of having confidence in yourself, because you need to be fairly confident to sit next to a big old lion like that and to tame it, okay? So it's knowing that you can kind of get through any type of challenges. We also have the High Priestess. Now, this, funnily enough, is a Scorpion woman, or this is somebody with Scorpio tendencies. So I feel that this is you guys, the High Priestess, and she often represents me in a reading, Scorpio. Okay, so the High Priestess is very much, because a lot of Scorpio people are very kind of intuitive. We're very mystic. A lot of us make good clairvoyants, and in my case, tarot readers. We're always in touch with our inner energy, and that's what the High Priestess does. Okay. She is a very kind, very just, very compassionate character. She's very much in control of her powers. She's very kind of, and she does trust her instincts. So maybe this is something to do with instinct within the month of December. Okay, maybe this is an instinctual thing for you, because there is a lot of slow movement here that stops you from going for something. And I feel that this is an instinctual thing for you guys, okay? Because the Strength card and the High Priestess, this can actually be, when it's coupled, it can be indicative of misunderstandings between lovers for some reason, okay? This can also represent roles being unstable within a relationship, potentially, for you guys. So maybe there's some kind of toing and froing for you guys in a relationship, and maybe somebody comes back and you're not quite sure, and you're trying to use your inner ear to tell you, is this something I should go for? So maybe this isn't a fear thing. Maybe this is purely based on instinct, why you've decided to think about something, because there's a lot of thinking going on within the Strength card and the High Priestess, and there's a lot of willpower that's holding you from actually doing something about it, okay? About a situation that potentially could bring up an offer for you. And I feel that this is the King of Pentacles that's doing the offer. Okay, so this is, as I said, a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus guy. Okay, could be two people, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancerian man. But if it's not, then I feel that this is definitely an earth sign who's offering you something. Okay, but you're thinking about it, Scorpio. You are heavily thinking about it, and you're trying to tap into your intuition to tell you, did I do the right thing? Did I make the right choice? Okay. And it's funny when we look at these two cards together as well. This can be about limitations, okay, or feeling limited, but also having strength in silence. So I feel that you guys are really, this Four of Pentacles is, the advice card is more to do with pay attention to your instincts, because your instincts will serve you in the long run, even though it might be a painful situation that some of you guys are going through in December. And I do feel that it might be to do with a relationship. Okay, we don't have a lot of cup cards here, but we don't need a lot of cup cards to tell me that this is potentially a relationship situation. But as I say, with the tarot and the general readings, always apply it to your own situation, whether that's a job that was offered to you, whether it was a home that was offered to you, whether it was a relationship that was offered to you, or the idea of one. Always apply these readings to whatever your conditions are, or whatever your situation is at the time. So we see with the High Priestess and the Strength card that there is a lot of self-control going on here, Scorpio, in the month of December. And you've got self-control because you're trying to find silence in the chaos of your mind. That's what the High Priestess does. She's not a particular chaotic character, but she always tries to go inward to find knowledge. That's what she does. She always tries to go inward to find the path, the clear path forward. That's what she does. She always takes time to think about stuff. She doesn't just go all out and make a choice, make a decision. She always tries to find her inner knowledge, and she always tries to find the truth. And both of these cards are about finding the truth in silence. So it's about going inward, thinking, and not making irrational, or spontaneous decisions. So that's what I'm seeing for the first two cards, okay? And also, I feel with the High Priestess, it's telling you that you need to look beyond the surface. Excuse me. You need to find the answers to your questions, okay? Trust your receptive sense of knowing. That's a very interesting thing for me to say, receptive sense of knowing. Your intuition. What does it tell you? What does this offer tell you? Does this offer tell you that it's coming from someone who has your best interests at heart? Or does this offer tell you that this person is really looking at you as if you are some form of a tool or some form of a commodity or some form of a possession. Okay, because both cards have their drawbacks, definitely for me. I do like the King of Pentacles a lot because he is the most reliable, down-to-earth king in the pack, but also we need to acknowledge that he is very much based on materialism, the surface, what is out there. That's what he looks like to me. And also with the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a very dreamy, poetic character. He's in love with the idea of being in love. He's very much emotion-based, but emotions are water. They're water signs. That's why we call them cups, because they're all about the water. And remember, water flows upstream as well as it flows down. Okay, so it means that the Knight of Cups, feelings, his actions can be up and down. They're never really stable. Okay, the King of Pentacles does show that he's thinking about something. He's thinking about this offer, so he may be getting carried away with how he feels. All right, but why is it that you need to think about this? Because there's something that you don't trust in. So therefore, the advice card for me is pay attention to the intuition. If you feel that you need to put your barriers up, put your barriers up, because there's something that's holding you back. And we see this in the Hanged Man as your next card, Scorpio. The Hanged Man and the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the Hanged Man is, again, a card of kind of holding on. It's a card about, how can I explain? Sometimes this card is about sacrificing, and sacrificing our own comfort in order to look at things in a different perspective. So it's all about, again, letting go of self-limiting beliefs. It's about strength as far as I'm concerned. It's about kind of endurance as well. So when I look at the Hanged Man, I look at endurance, because to be hung upside down by a tree says to me that you are enduring something, and you are the sacrificial lamb, if that makes any sense to you. But you're happy to be that. Do you see what I mean? Because you need to kind of do something in order to kind of test your own strength. And it's funny, because the Knight of Pentacles, again, is a test card. This is a test of strength. This is a test of how far can I take this thing? How far can I span this out? Because the Knight of Pentacles really does look at kind of, he is someone who takes his time. He's methodical. He's not a Knight of Cups. He doesn't just go with wishy-washy emotions. He actually takes his time to plan a route forward and then to move steadily and calmly towards a goal. That's why they called him the dull knight within the tarot, because he doesn't race ahead like the other knights. The Knight of Wands is very much based on his sexual powers. He's very much driven by sexual energy. He's a fire sign, the Knight of Wands, so he's driven by sexual energy. He doesn't think. All he thinks about is his loins. Okay, all he thinks about is how fast can I get somewhere, and I'm just going to go with it. And that's great in one way, but in another way, when you're dealing with people's feelings, it's not so great, because it really just looks at your own feelings and your own motivations. The Knight of Swords is a very kind of, he doesn't have a heart really. He thinks logically, okay? And he can be quite cutting, okay? So that's why the swords are called swords, because they cut, okay? And sometimes the Knight of Swords can be kind of ignorant, or not aware, or not he's self-aware, but he's not aware of other people's feelings, so he will just cut through. Okay, sometimes the Knight of Swords can be a card that's indicative of direct confrontation or direct communication, really direct communication. But sometimes it's all about being one-sided. So with the Knight of Pentacles, he's the grounded knight of the pack. He will think about something. Okay, and he has to go through a test, because again, it's a test of endurance. And these two cards are telling me this is a test of your own endurance. This is a test of your own endurance. It's testing you, this situation is. Okay? It's telling you that in December that there is an offer coming in for you guys. But with the two female characters here, Strength and the High Priestess, We're relying on our inner logic. Women are very, very intuitive creatures. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman watching this video, Scorpio. These cards are saying that you need to get in touch with your female energy. Get in touch with your inner knowing, your knowledge. What do you know of this King of Pentacles? Do you know anything about him at all? Is he truly the person that can provide you with lasting happiness, whether that's in a job, whether that's in a relationship? What are his motivations for making an offer? And that's why we have the Strength card and the High Priestess, because it's all about, I need to hold back on this because I need to kind of find out whether this offer is going to benefit me in the end. Is it going to be beneficial to me? So I need to hold on to what I know, and I need to go inward. And that's why your Four of Pentacles is coming up as your advice card, to rely on your intuition. Not a lot of people interpret this card in that way, but you've got to look at the reading as a whole, Scorpio, in order to know exactly what it is that the reading is trying to tell you. And the reading is saying, I need to rely so far on my own inner feelings, because that's what the Strength card is and the High Priestess is. Strength is about an inner strength, calmness. The lion is calm sitting next to the woman. She has some kind of magical, she has wielded some kind of magical spell on this lion. Okay, so the lion is her fear, but she's taken the fear outside of herself. She's not kind of put it inside of herself. She's taking it outside of herself, and she's taming it now. And when we take the fear that we have in life and we look at the fear for what it is, it becomes less fearful. It's like being fearful of spiders, and you go to a clinic to try and cure yourself of it. Somebody will put a spider in your hand, and the more they put a spider in your hand, the more it becomes less fearful to you. So it's looking at something in a very rational way and saying, why am I afraid of something that is smaller than me? Do you see where I'm coming from? And that's what this woman is doing on the Strength card. She's looking at the lion, and she's tamed it. She's tamed her fear. But this is through a very calm thing. Okay? So she's not running away. She's not rushing. She's not standing, I'm really scared of this lion. She's actually tamed it. And she said, actually, there's nothing to be afraid of here, because I kind of know where I'm going. I kind of know who I am. And I kind of know that I don't need to be fearful. I just need to rely on my intuition. And that's why we have the High Priestess here, because her intuition says there is nothing to fear here. I just need to take a step back, and I need to think about it in a logical, rational manner. Okay, that's what this is saying. And with the Hanged Man and the Knight of Pentacles, both cards, to me, suggest endurance. Enduring a test. Going through a test. And this is a test that the universe is giving to you. How can you endure? Now, the Knight of Pentacles is a card about faithfulness. It's a card about somebody who's always there for you. Okay, no matter what. Reliability. But this, to me, is saying that you need to have faith in what you believe. And you need to have faith that the point that you are at in your life now, Scorpio, is where you need to be. Things will not move very fast, okay? They're not moving fast in terms of this offer, because you're not allowing it to move fast. You need time to think. You need time to kind of pause. The Hanged Man can be a card of pausing as well. Pausing for time to reflect on something. And the Knight of Pentacles is also a card of reflection too, because he takes his time to reflect on his plans. Is this the right move forward for me? Am I actually going to be happy doing this? Okay, if I go from A to Z in a heartbeat, what will be the outcome? So therefore, I need to go from A to B. I need to go through every letter of the alphabet to get to where I need to go. Because along that journey, I'm going to find out how strong I actually am as an individual. Now, the next cards that show up for you, Scorpio, are the Seven of Cups and the Five of Cups. And it was interesting that these cards came up, because I was kind of, when I did the layout of the card, Scorpio, I looked at the Five of Cups and after the Seven of Cups, and it suggested to me that there are 3 cups lying behind this woman and there are 7 cups on the next card. So this is why I was thinking somebody has potentially left a commitment behind, or left. The Ten of Cups is usually a card of a love commitment between two people. So maybe you've left something behind there. But there are two cups in front of her, which is the Two of Cups, which suggests that the commitment is still there. But you're feeling sorrowful because you feel that you've lost it. But you haven't lost the love commitment. You just needed time to think about it. Whatever this commitment was, you needed time to think about it because everything was up in the air. That's what I'm feeling here with these cards. Everything was up in the air. Okay? The Five of Cups in the Witch's Tarot, the Seven of Cups in the Witch's Tarot talks about wonderful choices coming in for you. But wonderful choices, sometimes we get what we want, but is it really what we need? Sometimes we get our wishes granted, but in the long run, when we actually experience the reality of that wish, is it going to be all it's cracked up to be? And with the Five of Cups, it tells you in the Witch's Tarot not to focus on things that can't be. Because this lady is focusing on something that she either can't have or something that maybe wouldn't have been beneficial for her in the long run. Okay? But that's just the Witch's Tarot explanation. When I look at, you know what I do with the readings on YouTube? I look at the pictures and I look at what it's telling me. Okay? So it suggests to me 3 cups are behind the lady in this card. You can see that, Scorpio. And we have 7 cups, the choice card. 3 plus 7 makes 10 of cups. So I feel that something was left behind here, or you decided to pause on something and you kind of for a moment regretted it. Or you will regret it for a moment. But you don't need to regret it because you have 2 cups in front of you. That's either the chance for some other kind of relationship to come into view for you, or it could be that the thing that you left behind is not truly gone. It's still there, but at the end of the day, you need to think about it. Also, I feel with the combination of those cards, it's kind of about knowing or feeling certain of something, okay? So, especially with the Hanged Man and the Knight of Pentacles. Let me go back to those 2 cards and then I'll come back to these 2 again. The Hanged Man and the Knight of Pentacles as a combination can mean coming to a methodical conclusion on something, okay? So it's endurance, it's testing yourself. It's being methodical rather than being emotional. And there's a lot of kind of methodical thinking in this reading, because the Cups card, the 2 Cups card are the 7 of Cups and the 5 of Cups. Somebody's leaving 10 cups behind. That's the commitment thing, okay, in the 10 of Cups. But in front of her are 2 cups, the 2 of Cups. So that commitment is still there with those 2 cups. Okay, so the choices and the options are still there, but it's going to be on a far more kind of personal and less kind of wow level, if that makes any sense to you guys. Because you needed time to think. You needed time to think. And there's several thinking cards here. Strength, High Priestess, Hanged Man, Knight of Pentacles. You needing to think about this offer, so you're willing to sacrifice it for the time being. But the option is still there for you guys, because we've got 2 cups. She's turned her back on 10 cups, but she's still facing 2. Okay, so there is still a gateway open for you. But this is a time to pause and reflect and think about what you truly want. Also with the 4 of Pentacles as your advice card, this is a card about holding on to something. So maybe it's important with your intuition to hold those barriers up until you truly know what the truth is of the matter. Your final 2 cards, Scorpio, are showing as the 7 of Swords. And, you know, the 7 of Swords is a kind of a difficult card to interpret, because I used to always go along the lines of the 7 of Cups being treachery, being deceit, being someone that you can't trust. But this is a card about coming up with also new schemes and new tactics, being savvy, being intelligent, being one step ahead of the rest, okay? It's a card about looking at things from a new perspective as well. This guy had nicked 5 swords. He's left 2 behind, so he's kind of still a little bit of a generous geezer. He hasn't taken everything, so he's thought about it. He's not such a bad guy because he has run off with the proportion of swords, with the highest proportion of swords. He's run off with 5 swords. Okay, he's run off. He's taken them. But this is also a card about being highly intelligent and strategical. So working out he's worked out a strategy of how he was going to take those 7 swords in broad daylight. And he is smiling because he's kind of self-satisfied that he managed to get away with it. Okay? But this is also a card about thinking outside the box. He had to think outside the box in order to get away with what he got away with. Because when we think of a thief usually steals at night, when nobody is around. So they usually steal undercover, when they can't be detected, when they can't be found. This guy is doing it in broad daylight, which shows that he's got some front. Okay? Think outside the box and you will experience a victory and breakthrough. So this shows foresight. This shows forward thinking. Okay? So all along this reading, we are experiencing strategy, because there is strategy in the Hanged Man, strategy in the Knight of Pentacles. Okay? When you go through and endure something, there is always a reason for it. In the 7 of Swords, this guy strategizes. He's working out a method of how he's going to do something. Okay? This is a card of being clever and being creative as well. So he's had to be creative with how he's got away with 5 swords. But more than anything, this is a card of new perspective. When we work out a strategy, sometimes within a strategy is a new perspective of how to do something, of how to be successful in something. The final card is the Ace of Swords. I do like the Ace of Swords because the Ace of Swords to me is cutting away the bullshit and finding the truth in something. Okay? So this is going to be you guys coming to a conclusion on why it is that for the time being you have paused on an offer in December. The Ace of Swords is again an endurance and perseverance card, just like the Hanged Man. And it's funny that these are all 4 together. The Hanged Man, Knight of Pentacles, 7 of Swords and the Ace of Swords. To me, this suggests clever thinking, because these 4 cards in a bundle suggest that you are going to be achieving victory in December through having paused and taken your time, rather than just going for something immediately. You paused, you took your time, you thought about it, you strategized, you had foresight, you really relied on your intuition with the Strength card. You were strong enough within that Strength card not to just go with your fears. Sometimes when we immediately jump on an offer because we're fearing that we're going to lose it, we do lose it. But instead you were held back and you used your willpower to hold you back, because intuitively with the High Priestess it told you it was the right thing to do. Now there's been a bit of pain with feeling that you've lost out on something with those 7 of Cups behind the 5 of Cups, but you haven't, because you have 2 cups in front. So there are still choices and options for you, but it wasn't the right time to go for something, Scorpio, here. With the 7 of Swords, you strategized, you thought about it. The Hanged Man, you took a pause. You're enduring the difficult conditions. The Knight of Pentacles, it's a test for you, a test of your endurance. But the Ace of Swords brings truth, because the challenges that you face are going to allow you to move forward, okay? This is a card about facing and experiencing your own personal power, standing in your truth, okay? It says that success is definitely obtainable, guys, for you, Scorpio. It's definitely obtainable, but success doesn't come with fear. Success and fear don't work together. Fear can move you on if it's healthy fear, but if it's negative fear, we always end up making the wrong choices at the wrong time. So this reading says to me that whatever this offer is from the Knight of Cups or the King of Pentacles, or it could be just an offer from one person, the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, use your intuition as your guide and strategize. Don't be afraid to take a pause. Might be a little bit painful because you think you've lost out on something, but you haven't lost out on it. Because sometimes the best things in life come to us are through endurance, through tests, and through pain. Sometimes that's what happens in life, that we get what we want eventually when we have gone through all of the tests. And that's what this reading is for me. It's a test of your endurance. It's a test. It's funny, at the beginning of the reading, Scorpio, I said that the Four of Pentacles could work two ways as your advice card. If it's your fear that's talking to you, then you need to let down your barriers. If it's your intuition that's talking to you, then you need to keep those barriers up. And I seriously feel now that this Four of Pentacles is saying you did the right thing, or you're going to do the right thing. If you need to take a pause, to reflect, to still hold up those pentacles, to still kind of hold on to your sense of self, to still kind of hold on to the things that you have at the minute, whether it's just you or whether it's your family or whoever it is that's around you, you still need to keep those barriers up to keep something out, because you need time to pause and reflect on it. Then this says to me that you made the right decision. The Seven of Swords, clever thinking leads to a breakthrough with the Ace of Swords. And the clever thinking came with your Strength card, holding back, taming the fear. The High Priestess, allowing the intuition to be your guide. The Hangman, endurance, taking your time, pausing to reflect. The Knight of Pentacles, allowing yourself to go slowly on whatever this offer is. The Seven of Cups, with the Five of Cups in front, allowing whatever it is just to go for a little time. The connection is still there. You haven't lost it completely. But your clever thinking will lead to the breakthrough, okay? And will allow you to come to a very, very important conclusion. Whether you go back to the offer is completely down to you. Whether you leave it is completely down to you. But at the end of the day, everything happens for a reason. And if you decide that whatever this offer is that's being offered to you, that you need time to think about it in December, then do that. Because your intuition, along with the need to pause and reflect on something, will serve you in the end. So that's your reading for the month of December. I'm going to be doing a second reading for you, Scorpio, as well, okay? We'll definitely come back with that. But I want to just pull 3 cards, okay? So I'm going to pull an angel card. Let me just get my booklets. So the first card I want to pull is for the romance angels. If this is a love reading, I want to see what the angels have to say on it. Angels, Lord, Spirit God. Spirit guys, help me with this. What are you saying to Scorpio in the romance angels in terms of this reading that I've just given for the zodiac sign of Scorpio for the month of December 2015? Show me. Show me. What are you saying? What advice can you give to Scorpio? If this is to do with romance, what can you say? What is the advice that you give to Scorpio? Show me. Okay. Oh, here we go. Now, this is interesting, okay? This is interesting. Deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Isn't that a funny card to come up? Maybe that's why you pause. Maybe that's why your intuition is talking to you, Scorpio. That's interesting, isn't it? These cards never fail me. They never, ever fail me. Maybe this is why your intuition was telling you to pause and reflect. Maybe the Seven of Swords is the person who is wearing the false mask. And maybe you needed to come to that truth with the Ace of Swords. This is why I like pulling other cards during readings. I'm really hoping you guys are following me on this, because this is a very, very powerful reading. And with that card, even more so. Let's have a look at what it says about deception. This card is a loving nudge for you to beware of deception within a relationship. This could involve something mild, such as run-of-the-mill politeness, where your partner is afraid of offending you by sharing true feelings. Perhaps you're the one wearing the mask because you aren't disclosing something to your partner. Deep down, you know what this card pertains to. The romance angels are trying to protect your heart. Please say this invocation, either silently or aloud. Romance angels, I ask that you give me very clear guidance. This is why there is pause. This is why there is pause in the reading. This is why you needed time to pause. Because you're trying to pay attention. And this is why the Four of Pentacles come up. Told you to hold your barriers up, guys. hold them up. If you feel that there is deception within a relationship and that's why you need time to reflect on some form of an offer, this is why I was saying at the beginning of reading, where does that come from? The King of Pentacles looks at the advancement of something, the potential in something, what will serve him, what will advance him materially in the outer world. The Knight of Cups is all about dreaminess, so it's all about fantasy, going into the realms of fantasy. If it's one person making an offer, what are their motivations? Okay, and if you've got any misgivings about that, this is why it's saying this. Romance angels, I ask that you give me very clear guidance that I can easily notice and understand to reveal the truth about the situation to my conscious awareness. Then notice and trust the signs that follow. This card is also a reminder to you about the importance of being genuine with your partner. Although discussing your true feelings may be uncomfortable, it will improve your relationship on many levels. So that's the first card that came out from the Romance Angel. So if this speaks to you in terms of a romance situation, this is why this reading is telling you, pause and reflect. Don't just jump into an offer from someone that you don't really know or you don't really trust. Rely on your intuition. Hold back. No matter how difficult that might be, you might really be sexually attracted to someone or really like someone, but at the end of the day, what are their motivations for you? If you are coming from a different place, what are those motivations? That's your first card, Scorpio. Let's have a look what the Angel Tarot cards say. Angel Tarot cards, show me clearly. I know it's coming up to Christmas time and I don't want to give a bad reading for Scorpio. I really, really don't. But show me. Show me, show me, show me. Show me what you mean by this reading. What is the advice? Angel, Spirit, God, Lord, I'm just tapping into your energy right now. Give me some advice. What are you saying about this reading? What are you saying about the reading for Scorpio? What are you saying about the reading for Scorpio? What advice can you give to the Scorpions, please? Show me the advice. Please show me the advice for Scorpio. Show me the advice for Scorpio. Okay. So the wheel, number 10. And it says, a time of positive change, a situation suddenly moves forward, fortune is on your side. So if it's you that needs to let down the barriers within this reading, it suggests to me that this will move forward for you. Everybody that watches this video will know, if this pertains to a certain situation in your life, you'll know exactly what Angel Tarot to go for and how it serves you, okay? So this is why I do several of them. This is why I'm doing 3 Angel Tarots, because I know that for each person, that what this will mean for you. So this is what I said with the reading. Even though I feel it's purely intuitive on your part, I also feel that if it's your fear that's holding you back, then you need to let down your guard, because there is a time of positive change coming in for you. But it's all about what your intuition tells you. So let's have a look at the wheel. The angels sent you this card because of some positive changes occurring in your life. Expect and enjoy beneficial new opportunities as they present themselves. This is an optimal time to make big and small changes. Take the leap with the knowledge that everything will work well for you. Old blocks are lifting and everything now moves forward quickly. If recent events shook your faith, you'll now see how they were actually positive for you. Rapid advancement is likely now. So additional meanings of this card are good luck, a happy accident, balanced karma, a miracle, a twist of fate, and destiny. So when I look at the card, Scorpio, and what I'm seeing here, if it's a romantic situation in which you don't trust the person who's making the offer, then this person is wearing a false mask, and you are right to pause and reflect. If it's someone that you do like and you've got, your intuition is telling you, okay, I'm fearing this and I'm fearing change and I'm fearing going for something because it's all about me and my own barriers, then the card 4 of Pentacles is telling you to let down those barriers, because when you let down those barriers, positive changes with the wheel come in. Okay, so you've got to decide whether this is the strong intuition that something that is offered is not good for you, or whether it's your fear talking. Okay, and let's have a look at the final angel card that comes up for this, guys. So Power Angel, Tarot, Power Angel Tarot, show me angel guides, spirits, show me what you mean by this reading. What advice can you give to Scorpios on the reading? Please show me what advice you can give to the Scorpios on the reading. Show me the advice that you will give to the Scorpio on the reading. Show me the advice. Show me the advice. Show me the advice. Show me the advice. Angel Tarot. Show me the advice. Show me the advice. What are you saying to the Scorpios about this reading? Show me. Okay, how interesting. Right, so we've got the 7 of Raphael that came up for this reading from the Power Angel Tarot. And it says, time to make a decision. Be clear on what you want and take action. A need for detoxification. So let's have a look at the 7 of Raphael, which is the 7 of... Oh, it's the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups. Again, let's have a look. It's the 7 of Cups in the normal tarot. Time to make a decision. You may feel the situation is too complicated, but further research will reveal the right course of action. Intuition, exactly, provides useful guidance on how to sort through all the possible choices. Listen to your inner voice. This is exactly what I was saying in this reading. Don't be lulled into daydreams. Get clear on what you want and then take action without looking back. If you're drawn to a particular bucket on the card, the chakra colour holds meaning and guidance in making your choices. So additional meanings of this card: unrealistic expectations, procrastinations, confusion, indulging in excesses, and need for detoxification. When we detox, we pause and we reflect. Okay, when we need to detox, we take our bodies through a period of retreat in order to kind of clear out the crap. And that's what's going on with this reading, Scorpio. It's clearing out the shit. That's what it's doing. Somebody makes you an offer, but there is a time to hold back on that offer. Even though it's difficult, you're not playing into your fears. You're using your intuition. You're basically taking yourself through a time of pause and reflect with the Hangman. So you're enduring whatever you're enduring, but it's for the greater good. The Knight of Pentacles, again, a test of endurance, going through a very methodical planning stage, methodical thinking, realistic thinking as well with the Knight of Pentacles. 7 of Cups, 5 of Cups. Yes, you have abandoned something, maybe a commitment for the time being, but that connection is still there. If it's a relationship and you're not sure about it because you don't trust the partner that is offering you something, then they could be wearing a false mask with that deception card, okay? If it's your own fears that are holding you back, okay, you need to be a little bit more savvy about it. You were savvy because we received 7 of Swords, okay? We see it was a clever move on your part to pause and reflect. With the Ace of Swords, even though you've had all the challenges with having to face up to something, face up to your own intuition and take that time out, it brings victory in the end. So there we have the Wheel. And finally, with the 7 of Raphael, time to make a decision. Make a decision on what you want. Are we playing into your fear or are we playing into your intuition? Okay, what does your intuition tell you? Simple reading. I love this reading very, very much, Scorpio. I'm going to be coming back with a second reading for you because I did write up a second reading for you and I have to do it for December. This is a very, very good reading. Very good reading. Whatever it means to you, it means to you. But at the end of the day, Scorpio, you're the only one that's got to be honest with yourself. Okay? You have to be honest with who you are. Okay? If it's your intuition that's telling you that somebody ain't so good and they're trying to offer you something, but it's all based on motives that you're not very clear on or not very happy with, then the person may be wearing a false mask, especially if it's within a relationship situation. But if it's your fears, let your guard down and you will have positive change, okay? And it's time to make a decision on something. Are you playing into the fantasy of something or are you playing into the reality of it? That's your reading. It's a very long one, okay? But I enjoyed very much doing that. I'm going to do your next reading very, very soon. Okay, I've got 12 to upload and I don't know whether they're going to be this long. But yes, Scorpio, I will see you very, very soon. I'm going to be doing your yearly readings as well. So stay tuned for that. There's going to be the general yearly reading and what you can expect in 2016. I love you all very, very much. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.